If you've just recently purchased Studio One and you don't yet have a MIDI controller, or if you're traveling and you can't take your external controller with you to play your virtual instruments, we can make use of our computer keyboard within Studio One. So let's take a look at how we can go about setting that up. Now, we can Control, comma, and then bring up the options menu. This by default will be on the General tab, and we want our external devices. But I'm actually going to come into a song and set this up. So let's click on New, and I'll just click on OK. Let's close out that browse. So now I'm going to press Control, comma, to bring up this same options menu. We're on external devices. That's good. Now we can come to the Add. I'll click once. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, we have Personas here, a folder. And then let's scroll down a bit. We can see all of the controllers that they make that we can set up. And then down towards the bottom, we have QWERTY keyboard. So if I click once to select that, I'll click on OK. We can see that that's now populated in our window here. I'll click on OK. Let's come to our browser, Instruments. We'll bring in a My Tai, close out our browser. And now in order to make this work, we need to, I'm just pressing Shift and E to zoom in on our track here. I'm going to press Caps Lock on my computer keyboard, and that's going to bring up our virtual QWERTY keyboard here. So now we can see that we have these buttons that match with the top keys on our computer, QWERTY, and the numbers. So these are, I could just play the keys on my computer, and we're now triggering our My Tai, and here's our number keys, the minor notes. Now we can use the left, right, and up and down arrows on our QWERTY keyboard to make some adjustments here. And you can see that we have left and right arrows here. So this is going to change the octave. So by default, we start off on C3 for that octave. We're playing within that range. So this one here particularly starts on C3. But if I use the left arrow, we change that to C2. And now we're starting on that C2. So just know you can change your octave by using the left and right arrows on your computer keyboard or by clicking these here on the screen. We also have bend and mod, and we have velocity. Now if we use the up and down arrows on our QWERTY keyboard, take note here, that's going to drop it down by 10% each time I press it. So now we're on 30. If I use the up arrow, I can take that back to the default of 80. Now what this means is basically that we can actually record MIDI information with this virtual device. And when we do that, the MIDI notes are going to be added or recorded with a velocity of what we have selected here, so 80%. So if I were to enter into record, okay, we'll press spacebar to stop. Let's close out our My Tai, and I'll caps lock to get rid of the QWERTY keyboard. Now when I double click on this, we can see that in our editor, the velocities are all the same here. So if I select a note, we can look over in the inspector here and see that that's 80% and 80%. So I'll caps lock again to bring this up. So just know that whatever you select here is going to be the velocity that your MIDI notes are recorded with when you make use of this here. Now we also have a sustain, and I can't remember. Okay, it's tab. Tab will activate the sustain. So I'm just holding the tab button on my QWERTY keyboard. Once I release, then that's turned off. Okay, so that's how we can go about triggering our virtual instruments using our computer keyboard. I hope this has been helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Also know that I do provide web training for Studio One over Zoom. So if you're interested in that and you'd like to speed up your learning curve, if you're having lots of issues and problems and you're frustrated and want to just have all of your questions answered immediately in a session over Zoom, you can share your screen with me. You can even allow me control if you'd like, and I can just guide you through whatever you'd like to learn or whatever issues you're having. The meeting can also be recorded so that you have a video reference to refer to in the future. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope it's been helpful, and I will see you in the next tutorial, guys.